Literally,
tuning is so good.
I barely touched them, dude. I honestly, I set them up and I like played for a while and I did like a little tweak and then I packed them up and as soon as I packed them up I was like, shit, I didn't go through and retune them again. They're probably fine.
Dude, they're so good.
Yeah, like I barely touched them, man, and like literally they haven't been touched since we recorded, and then I had a gig like a couple weeks after that, and then after that I haven't touched those drums in over a year now. So I guess with these videos, we can tell people where we are because they're going to get released later.
Yeah, we can just put a thing like in it afterwards. It's not.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, whatever.
It doesn't really matter. Not immediately, anyway. But okay, being day one, we've talked a little bit about what we're gonna do, but it's very different. Given that I don't know, I've never built songs in the studio before.
Nor have I. Have you?
Yeah, kind of.
I hope so. I hope he says yes. Because we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Actually, yeah. I have no idea now.
So, I mean, keeping it like to just get tones and keep it simple, I'm thinking When the Thunder Comes.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that was the song that I was like, well, maybe we won't do it. And now it's
but me and you were on the same page, buddy.
Yeah. You
know what? I was like, melodically, I was on the same
That's
page
what I was
too.
listening to.
And I was just like,
It just has that like groove to it and the backing vocals. It's just going to catch people.
Yeah.
It's an immediate attention grabber for
this
sure.
This is also why we have discussions about these things because, you know, if we were just up, it's almost like the delay from all the lockdowns and everything. It's like, it's worked out because if we would have just like, hey, we're going to go in the studio and I just started writing these songs and then we picked the first like 5.
Yeah.
This would be like Alan Doyle 2.0, like a folk band.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It was like
that's the
that
stuff.
much.
I was sitting in the sun with my guitar. That's the kind of mood I was in. And then it just developed over talking about everything else. And then it's like, well, now look what we're going to do. It's going to be something that I don't even know what to call it. Because I looked to try and find bands that are doing this to give you like an example of like what I was thinking about. I'm like, I can't find
a
it.
band that
can't find it.
represent it, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a mashup of a few different things, a few different influences and styles, and so it's gonna be
So yeah, I mean, in terms of tone, if we're gonna grab it, like I think I mentioned I want some beef to it. It's like when you think about horns and like rock music, like I hear in my head a lot of times like have you ever heard Stevie Ray Vaughan live, the live album where he had a horn section come in?
Yeah.
And it's like, but they're really bright sounding and all, and I'm like, no, like James Bond horns, like the dark, brooding horns.
Yes. More like the like French horns, kind of a darker thing, and like those deeper kind of.
Yeah, there's a few songs where I've been hearing French horns, so. I
mean, like Crawling Back to Me has definitely got room for those like sexy like swagger horns. So that's the kind of feel of the song, right?
Yeah, that's the song. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's funny you say horns and you can get a typical idea of like what horns typically do in rock music, but this won't be that. It won't be that necessarily. Yeah.
It's weird. Like I've been trying to think. You go the elevator pitch. Like if we were telling somebody what's the band sound like, and I'm like, I don't know. A Martin Scorsese's film as rock music, like a gangster flick with rock guitars. I don't know. Like is that an actor just like The Godfather with heavy guitars? I don't know.
It's a great way to describe it though. Like to use the movie kind of like visual soundtrack thing. I remember watching it was Pharrell Williams putting a beat together for Jay-Z for I think on the Black album, and he was describing like makes this beat, brings Jay-Z in the studio and is describing like okay, picture Carlito's Way at the end, and blah, blah, blah. Like, he's describing the whole scene of the movie. And then Jay-Z's like, all right, so then they play the track. And then it's like, then you're like, oh, yeah, that totally is like, that's the vibe of
I've
it.
never like used that as a way to describe like a rock band before.
Yeah, right.
You describe film score like that.
Right, yeah.
But not like
but not a rock band.
But that's kind of like, I think we're kind of like on the territory of merging the two.
Yeah. It's a good approach. Yeah, it's not a typical approach to a rock-based project. It's weird to even say rock, like it's rock, because it's the basis is rock, but it's like it's.
Yeah. I think that run. I think like hearing it. I think at the very end I added one extra note.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
I dig it. Yeah. Just a little more energy. Yeah, but yeah. And like the whole thing is like I want to make sure every song just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. So I'm trying to do that with the drums and everything. So they're big. I know, this is my snare.
And blues scales. So my natural inclination for writing music is based in blues music.
More than rock.
But here we go, and we're going to be putting classical elements on top of that. And I think it's going to actually make the project sound so different because usually people stick with one side or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Forget the blues influence that there was. Given your guys' past projects, there was like a blues,
very
blues
much
influence in there.
Yeah. You can't pull that out of us. We tried.
Yeah.
When we had the first jam in the summer, we were playing the like Alan Doyle 2.0 stuff, and then we started playing one song, and it was just kind of like heavier, and we're like, oh yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
This is us. This is us.
Yeah.
You can't get away from your roots. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I guess if that's the plan, we'll just piece together. We'll pick just When the Thunder Comes is probably a good start, just because it's gonna have that weight to it.
Yeah.
Like the for tone.
Mm-hmm.
And that tone is probably gonna set the tone for the rest of the song.
There you
So
go.
I guess
There
that
you
makes
go.
sense.
It's a good way to start then. Let's do that.
Cool.
Good.
So
all right. So.